Even for me, very strange to think how it is that this little girl born in England in 1934 is now traveling around the world, and for goodness sake, look at all of you come here to listen. How did it happen? So, as we go through life, you know, we all need certain people to guide us, to pick us up when we fall down, and I feel so grateful to the people who have helped me. There's the Jane Goodall Institute staff. We've got 34 Jane Goodall Institutes around the world, and I'll introduce you to some of them later. And our Roots and Shoots youth, I'll introduce you to some of them as well. But the person I most want to thank, can we put the lights back up so I can see people? I'm looking at them. So the person I most especially want to thank is my amazing mother. So I was born loving animals. We still don't have some lights. Lights, please. Let there be light. Nothing happened so well. I haven't got the right. Anyway, never mind. I was born loving animals, and I was lucky enough to have a very supportive mother. I mean, a lot of mothers, if they came into their child's room at night when they were 1.5 years old and found them with a whole handful of wriggling, dirty earthworms in their bed, would get angry, throw them out of the window. Mum very quietly said, "Let's put them back in the garden, they'll die if you keep them here." I mean, I don't remember this. I was 1.5 years old, but she told me. But now my first real experience of watching animals happened when I was 4 years old. We lived in London, and there's not many animals in a big city. So what I remember vividly is being taken for a holiday in the country. And it was on a farm, a proper farm, when animals were grazing out in the fields. And thank you. Yes, thank you. Now I can see all your faces. So you can't actually go to sleep now. Anyway, I was given a job on this farm, and that was to help collect the hens' eggs. And there were about 6 or 8, I don't remember, wooden hen houses where they slept at night. In the daytime they pecked around in the farmyard. And around these little hen houses were nest boxes. So they went into the hen house, into the nest box where there was nice straw, and laid an egg. Well, apparently, as I collected these eggs, I began asking everybody, I don't remember, but I began asking everybody, but there's the egg. So where on the hen is a hole big enough for the egg to come out? I couldn't see a hole like that. And so I remember vividly seeing a hen going into one of these hen houses, and I must have thought, she's going to lay an egg, so I crawled after her, and I could still hear her squawks, I suppose, of fear, and feel her wing pushing past me as she flew out. And again, in that little 4-year-old mind, I must have thought, well, this is now a dangerous place. No hen is going to lay an egg here, but I'm on the path of discovery. And I go into an empty hen house, and I wait. And I wait. And I wait. Which is fine for me, but my poor mother had no idea where I was. I was apparently gone for 4 whole hours, and I still vividly remember the hen coming in, and she laid the egg, and I saw the whole thing, and I don't know who was more excited, me or the hen. Anyhow, I'm rushing towards the house, and my mother, who's already called the police, she sees this excited little girl and sits down to hear the wonderful story of how a hen lays an egg. And I tell that story for a reason, because there you see the making of a little scientist. Curiosity, asking questions, not getting the right answer, deciding to find out for yourself, making a mistake, and not giving up and learning patience. So a different kind of mother might have crushed that early scientific curiosity. How dare you go up without telling us? Don't you dare do it again. And I might not have done what I'd done. When I was growing up, way back then, there was no television, none of these modern gadgets. And so we learned from books. And my mother got books about animals thinking that Jane will learn to read more quickly. And it was when I was 8 years old, I got my own book for the first time, my very own book. We had very, very little money, so most of the books came from library. And this was the story of Dr. Dolittle. And then 2 years later, I used to save up my few pennies, pocket money, and spend time in this little second-hand bookshop that I'd found. And on this occasion, I just had enough money to buy a small book. I still have it, and it was called Tarzan of the Apes. So I took it home, and I read it from cover to cover. And 10-year-old little girls can be very romantic. And I fell passionately in love with this glorious lord of the jungle. And what did Tarzan do? He married the wrong Jane. But of course I knew it wasn't a Tarzan. That's when my dream began. I will grow up, I will go to Africa, I will live with wild animals, and I will write books about them. Everybody laughed at me. How will you do that? You don't have money. Africa's far away. And anyway, you're just a girl. Girls don't do that sort of thing. But my mother said, if there's something you really want, you have to work really hard and don't ever give up. Take advantage of every opportunity, and you'll get there in the end. And that's the message that I take around to children around the world, especially in disadvantaged communities. And it's such a good message, and I wish that my mother was around to know how many people have come up to me and said, Jane, I want to thank you because you taught me that because you did it, I can do it too. At any rate, I did well at school. I didn't like it. I wanted to be out with the birds and the squirrels and the animals around my home in England. But I did well at school. I should have gone to university, but we didn't have enough money. I had to do a boring old secretarial course, shorthand and typing and bookkeeping. But anyway, I got my diploma and I got a job. And then came opportunity, a letter from a school friend, and she was inviting me for a holiday to Kenya. Her parents had just bought a farm there. So, yes, but I couldn't save money in London where I had my job. It's too expensive to live there. So I went home and I got a job as waitress in a hotel just around the corner. Really hard work, by the way. And it took, 5, maybe slightly longer than 5 months to save up enough money, because it wasn't the kind of hotel where people drop in, spend a night, spend some money, and go on their merry way. This was just after the war, World War II, and people were coming down to the seaside where I lived, and staying for a week, and they didn't have much money back then. So I had to be really nice to them as I served their breakfast, their lunch, and their dinner for a whole week. And of course, I made sure they all knew I was saving up for Africa. So I think my tips were a little bit bigger than they might otherwise have been. Oh, finally I had enough money. And that first journey was by boat. I've lived so long on this planet that back then when I first went to Africa in 1957, there weren't planes going back and forth. And the boat journey took about 1 month. It should have been 2 weeks, but there was a silly war between England and Egypt. And if you look it up, you'll find the quickest way to get from London to Mombasa in Kenya is through the Suez Canal. But the Suez Canal was closed. So the boat had to go all the way around the southern tip of Africa. And the first place that I actually put my foot on African soil was Cape Town. It's beautiful with that lovely iconic Table Mountain. And Mum had some friends there who agreed that I could stay with them for the 2 days the ship was in dock. And as they took me around, First of all, it was so exciting, I was there. But then I began seeing this writing on the backs of seats in the parks, on the doors into the restaurants. And it's out in Afrikaans, it said, slechts blond. And what does this mean? White people only. And suddenly I didn't like it there anymore because I wasn't brought up to think that way. My grandfather was a congregational minister. And we didn't judge people by the color of their skin, their language, their culture, but as human beings. So I was glad to leave Cape Town. Anyhow, I got to stay with my friend, and while I was there, I heard somebody say, Jane, if you are interested in animals, you really should meet Dr. Louis Leakey. He spent his life searching for fossils of early humans, but he was also interested in the relationship between those fossils and our closest living relatives today, which are chimpanzees and the other great apes. You have the orangutan here in Asia, in Malaysia. So I went to see him at the museum, the Natural History Museum, and he asked me so many questions about all the animals there. Of course, they were stuffed, which I didn't like much, but I could answer most of his questions. I spent hours learning everything I could about African animals before I set sail. And I think he was impressed by how many of his questions I could answer, how much I knew. But anyway, this led to him offering me this extraordinary opportunity to go and live with and learn from not just any animal, but the one most like us. Of all the great apes, the chimpanzee is the closest to humans, biologically and behaviorally. So it took a year. I went back to England. He had to find money. Who was going to give money for such a ridiculous idea? Going out into the forest, I hadn't even been to college, and I was just a girl. But finally, he found a wealthy American businessman who said, okay, Louis, here's money for half a year. We'll see how she does. Second problem, what we call Tanzania today, where the Gombe National Park is, back then was part of the crumbling British Empire. It was called Tanganyika. It was taken over by the British from the Germans after World War I. And the authorities, the British authorities, simply were not prepared to take responsibility for this young girl. But Leakey never gave up. And in the end they said, oh, all right, I suppose she can come. She cannot come alone. So who volunteered to come with me? My same amazing mother. And she did two things for me that were really, really important. First of all, she set up a little clinic. She wasn't a doctor or a nurse, but her brother was a surgeon, her sister was a physiotherapist. She had very simple medicines like aspirins and Epsom salts and other medicines which aren't used so much now. She made some amazing cures. She spent hours with her patients who were the fishermen from along the shores of Lake Tanganyika. And that's where Gombe National Park is. And I discovered later she was known as a white witch doctor. She was a good witch doctor. And anyway, that established for me, right from the beginning, a really good relationship with the local people. And that stood me in good stead ever since. And secondly, even more important for me at the time, she boosted my morale because in the first weeks and months, the chimpanzees I'd come so far to study took one look at this peculiar white ape, we're all apes, by the way, if you didn't know, and just ran off into the forest. And I was getting increasingly worried. I knew with time that I could win their trust, but did I have time? And it was Mum who boosted my morale. I found a peak. With my binoculars, I could look out over two valleys. And so she pointed out I was learning more than I thought. I was learning about the calls they made. I was learning how sometimes they wander around alone, males and females alone. Sometimes it's a mother with her young family. Sometimes two mothers with the youngsters playing. sometimes a group of males just hanging out, and sometimes all members of what we now know as a community of about 50 individuals gathering together when a new food comes into season. So I was lucky in that, unlike the orangutans here, the chimpanzees spend most of their travel time on the ground, whereas the orangutans, the gibbons and other monkeys here are way up in the treetops. So I was learning about the foods they were eating, and it was Mum who pointed all this out. So it was really a tragedy that she left just about 2 weeks before the breakthrough observation, the observation that changed everything. And by that time, one of the chimpanzees had got used to me. He didn't let me very close, but as close as the width of this podium. So I called him David Greybeard, because he had a beautiful white beard. And I saw him sitting on a mound of termites. I saw him break off grass stems, push them down into the termite mound, carefully pull them out, termites biting on with their jaws, picking them off. I saw him break off leafy twigs, and to use them as tools, he had to remove the leaves. So David Greybeard was using and making tools, which was incredibly exciting back then, because science had decided humans and only humans used and made tools. We were actually defined as man the toolmaker. I sent a telegram to Louis Leakey, no email back then, and it made him very excited. And also, he was able to go to the National Geographic Society in America, and they agreed, one, that they would continue to fund the research when the first money ran out, and secondly, they eventually sent a photographer and filmmaker, a young Dutchman, Hugo van Lauwijk, to record the behavior of Jane in the forest, which they found fascinating, and then the behavior of the chimpanzees, as more and more of them got used to me, and I was gradually beginning to find out more about them. And what was so striking, as soon as I began to really understand something of their behavior, was how like us they are in their non-verbal communication, kissing, embracing, holding hands, patting one another in reassurance, begging for food, threatening somebody who comes too close, go away. And also, I was shocked to find that, like us, they also have a dark and brutal side. In chimp society, which is very complex, there's always a number one male. And the males, some of them, are highly motivated to get to the top. And when they're facing off, a younger one is challenging a higher ranking one, they stand upright, they stick out their hair, they swagger from foot to foot, they shake their fists, they may throw rocks. They try and look as intimidating and dangerous as they possibly can. And doesn't that remind you of some human male politicians? But anyway, they try not to fight. You don't want to get wounded. They try and just do it by bluff, but you may have to fight. The mothers, good and bad, just like in human society. And we can now look back over 60 years of observation of these Gombe chimpanzees. There's a research station there now. And we know that the offspring of these good mothers, the supportive ones, the ones who will run in and risk being attacked by a high-ranking individual to get their child out of some kind of mischief. And the offspring of those mothers tend to be, if they're males, higher ranking, probably sire more young. If they're females, better mothers, maybe raise more kids. Although, for the most part, chimpanzees don't have more than 3 young that live, and they're not overpopulating their environment. That's a difference with us. So, finding this dark and brutal side was a shock, that they can kill each other, that they're capable of a kind of primitive war, but also like us, they have a loving, compassionate, and truly altruistic side to their nature. And you can see it when you see the mothers with their offspring, and the gentle way that the older ones treat the young ones, because not until you're 9 or 10 do you start leaving your mother. She doesn't have her first baby till she's 13. And when the next baby is born 5 years later, the firstborn doesn't leave the mother but remains emotionally dependent on her. And so you see the bonds get stronger between mothers and offspring and between the brothers and sisters. If a mother dies and her child is over 3, because up to 3 they're dependent on the mother's milk, then if there's an older brother or sister, that infant will be adopted. But we've had several cases now where there were no older brothers and sisters, and the infants were adopted by unrelated adults, usually female, but sometimes male. So it was increasingly clear there isn't a sharp line between us and them. When I've been in Gombe for about 2 years, I had a letter from Louis Leakey. He said, "Jane, you will have to stand on your own 2 feet. I won't always be around to get money for you. And I'm going to a place in Cambridge University to do a PhD because there's no time to mess with an undergraduate degree. You're going to do a degree in ethology." I didn't know what ethology was. It's really the study of behavior. But anyway, when I got to Cambridge, I was extremely nervous. And, you know, these erudite professors. So can you imagine how I felt when many of them told me, "Jane, you've done your study absolutely wrong. You shouldn't have given names to the chimpanzees." Names like David Greybeard, Flo, Mike, who became known to people around the world through Hugo Van Eyck's film and photographs. You should have given them numbers. That's scientific. And you cannot talk about chimpanzees having personalities. You can't talk about them having minds capable of problem solving. You can't talk about them having emotions like happiness, sadness, fear, despair, grief. Those are unique to humans, they told me. But luckily, when I was a child, I had a wonderful teacher, and he had taught me that in this respect anyway, these learned professors were absolutely wrong. And that teacher was my dog. You can't share your life in a meaningful way with any animal and not understand that we are not the only beings with personalities, minds, and emotions. Well, fortunately, I had a very wise supervisor, one of the top ethologists in Europe at the time, and after he came to Gombe, he changed his mind, and he helped me to write about my observations in a scientific way, and I loved learning that. But, you know, science was teaching you mustn't have empathy with your animal subjects. You've got to be totally objective. You can't be objective if you have any kind of feeling for your subject. And that's wrong. I knew it was wrong back then, because intuition gives you some you can guess, I think I know what that behavior means. And once you've got a guess as to what some difficult behavior means, then you can be a scientist and challenge your assumption, see if you're right or wrong. So anyhow, in spite of all of this, I got my PhD, and I went back to Gombe, and I built up a tiny research station. It had to be small because Gombe is a very tiny national park. And I think those were the best days of my life. I was with bright young minds talking about different aspects of chimp behavior that they were studying. And I was able to spend hours out in the rainforest. And for me, that is a very spiritual experience, as well as the fact that I was learning about the interconnection of all living things, and how the loss of one little species can eventually lead to an entire collapse of an ecosystem, because maybe this insignificant seeming species was the main food of another. And when that goes extinct, maybe this will affect another or others, and so on. And so understanding that every little species has a role to play in this amazing tapestry of life. So I just spent today, all morning, and yesterday evening out in the rainforest of your beautiful royal, I always get names wrong, I mustn't do that. Royal Balum National Park. And having that spiritual feeling climbing up to the waterfall, just, it so fills my spirit with energy. And how important it is that we have to protect this ecosystem. Because forests are going all over the world. It was when I learned in 1986 that across Africa, forests were disappearing fast as foreign logging and mining companies came in, clear-cut the forest, made roads deep into the interior. And also chimpanzee numbers were dropping. And I knew that I had to try and do something to help, even though I didn't know quite what I could do. So I got together some money and managed to visit 6 of the different study sites where scientists were working on chimpanzee behavior. And when I began, it was just me, but by this time other scientists were out there too. And the idea of the conference was to see how chimp behavior might change in different environments. Was there something called culture, which there is, behavior passed on one generation to the other through observational learning. But back then, science was scoffing at the idea of anything other than humans having culture. So that conference was a very important one. It was very clear chimpanzees do have a simple culture, different tools used in different places, even different foods eaten, even if they're common in 2 places. So the young ones learn about feeding behavior, tool-using behavior, and others by watching the adults. So it was at that same conference that I learned about the fact that chimpanzees were disappearing. Managed to get to these study sites. And I was learning a lot about the problem faced by chimps. There was not only the destruction of the habitat by foreign companies, there was also the explosive growth of the human population living in and around the forest. They needed more space to grow their crops, they needed more space to live, and also the beginning of the intensive bushmeat trade, that's the commercial hunting of wild animals for food. Very different from subsistence hunting, where you just shoot enough to keep yourself, your family alive. And as people moved further into the forest, often along the roads built by big companies, so they took into the forest our infectious diseases. Chimps are so like us biologically, they can catch those diseases, and they haven't built up resistance to them. So in all these ways, the chimpanzees were highly threatened. There was also the live animal trade, shooting mothers to steal babies, to sell them as pets or for entertainment. And that's going on here too. I was shocked to learn that in Malaysia you can actually buy a baby gibbon. How cute, how sweet. Other parts of Asia, people are buying baby orangutans, buying little monkeys. But this is, it's rather like taking a small human child away from their family, because all these primates have these strong bonds. And it's the same when we come to bears and other animals. They belong in the wild. They don't belong in people's homes. It usually ends in tragedy, sometimes for the owner who gets attacked when the animal becomes adult, usually for the animal that becomes unruly and has to go to a bad zoo or something like that. So there I was learning about these problems. But I was also learning about the problems faced by so many of the people living in and around chimpanzee habitat.